I want to use my YouTube again. This is going to be such a controversial video. It's probably not YouTube or Google material. I know how they are, and you know, um, very, very strict about what goes on YouTube. Hopefully this doesn't get me in any trouble. I mean, I don't care if they shadow ban me or demonetize me, which they've already done, but I just don't want them to delete all my stuff. But this is a video about CHS, Cannabis Hypermesis syndrome, which I believe is a crock of baloney. And I'm going to share some evidence why. I put a blog together on one of my websites about this at botanicalguides.com. So you can just do a search for botanical. I'll put the link in the description actually, but otherwise just search botanicalguides.com. CHS is not caused from cannabis. And I share some news articles on here and some academic facts, and I'm going to go over a few with you. Turn my phone sideways, so feel free to follow. We got some mainstream news here about poisonous pot being sold in some stores in Louisiana. It was poisoned with something. So that's proof that cannabis is in certain places is being laced. We know Delta 8 flower and stuff is being sprayed with propylene glycol, which kills brain cells and suppresses the central nervous system, and uh, just does all kinds of horrible things. It's an FDA-approved poison. I also want to put a link in the description for you guys to actually contact the FDA and tell them, look, we don't want propylene glycol in our hemp products. It kills brain cells. You're making cannabis poison, and I suspect that the socialists are doing this. And when I say socialist, I mean neo-Nazis and white supremacists. Alternatively, on that note, check out my other project at jehovah.agency. Moving on. This is a really good article, guys. You need to read this. Smoke one if you got one and read it. Here's another one. Fentanyl. Health officials warn of fentanyl-laced marijuana. And now I want you to understand that I'm not attacking marijuana in this video. I'm pro-marijuana. I'm attacking people poisoning marijuana. That's what I'm against. Then you also have genetic engineering. You have to research in Monsanto. You have them adding MCT oil to products, which is causing adverse reactions. It's just generally bad. On my site here, I link to all my projects, a few shops, not even for money. I'm just like, screw it. I'm just going to pay it forward. Be nice. And I got some academic citations as well. And I link to JSTOR, an academic database, Google Scholar, PubChem, MAPS, botanical.com, Arrowwood, the American Kratom Association, anti-GMO organizations and activism. I got a link to a page on Wikipedia about genetic modification, and you can read more about it on Google Scholar and JSTOR as well. And on the hemp page on here, just a second, I'll pull it up. Pointers on shopping for hemp in 2023. There's a link to a academic resource about propylene glycol, where I back up where I'm talking about how it causes it kills brain cells and suppresses the central nervous system. It looks a lot like plastic, and I've heard that plastic is a type of glycol or propylene, something like that, before. Now I'm not 100% sure on that, but if you click on this link, I like to make my links where you click them and it'll take you to the source. It pulls up a bunch of academic sources on propylene glycol. Now, if you don't know about Google Scholar, you need to. Just be prepared that hopefully one day they don't start censoring this, but also know about JSTOR.org. This pulls up academic scholarly sources, and you can go through these here and you can find plenty of information about how propylene glycol is very toxic. It will literally ruin your brain. And I believe that this is a socialist ploy. I think it's the neo-Nazis, and I don't have evidence to back that up. People will talk their trash or whatever, but I back things up like more than you know. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm going to start using my YouTube again. Check out my website, botanicalguides.com. You should note there is Christian stuff on there, but don't let that repel you. I'm not like the other Christians. I'm pro-cannabis. I am a 1% Christian. I'm not happy with the people in the church. I think they're a bunch of fakes. So, like, don't just expect me to be like the rest of them, and don't let that turn you off from looking around on the site. I also quote verses that most people don't, that you probably think are pretty cool. Even if you smoke weed, you're probably going to be like, damn, you're going to be impressed. because most Christians don't really read it, and I found some pretty cool stuff in there. Yeah, and I'm not the kind to preach to people and judge them over petty stuff either. We need not sweat the small stuff. It's the big stuff we got to worry about. Neo-Nazis and white supremacists, not just picking on somebody over some really stupid crap, you know. But anyway, um, yeah, but supposedly, let me get to it. I didn't even tell you what CHS is. Supposedly, CHS is this newly discovered condition that people like they get sick from weed and they throw up and they have hot and cold flashes or something. Like they get really sick. And the medical people are telling everybody that it's weed. But I show the real evidence that that is complete baloney and that's not what it is. This condition didn't come out until it was like right around they start spraying hemp flower, the propylene glycol and delta 8 THC using these solvents and stuff. And even if they don't use a solvent, propylene glycol is not even tested for in the hemp market. And I doubt they're testing for it in the regular marijuana market. So this is a real threat. And I really want you to contact the FDA and tell them, look, you need to recall this stuff. This bullcrap. It's not good. Um, yeah, that and the news stories of the fentanyl laced pot. And these are dispensaries, folks. So you got to think of this like cool, good people congregate together. You know, certain places of the country, those are like the real Americans are. And those are the places that have the best policies and the best marijuana laws and stuff. And then you have the worst places, and that's where the worst people congregate. So there's places in the country where there's real, regular, safe pot, and then there's places where there's socialists who don't want you to have pot and they want to slander pot and the Most High, the Creator, and they want to convince everybody that it's bad. And they will poison it, make people sick, and tell them that the weed did it when it was really them that did it. They poisoned it. They did this with tobacco. Tobacco had its own prohibition. It was it was outlawed. When it was legalized, the government allows them to poison it. That's the definition of genocide. So I'm going to go over a few tips for hemp consumers. Avoid vaping altogether. I did it for about a year and it started to rot my teeth, straight up. And I'm baffled that no one's talking about this on YouTube. Baffled. Well, I'm thinking either they're censoring it, and if they are, this video will probably get to. I hope they don't delete my account. But yeah, avoid anything with propylene glycol in it. Avoid MCT oil, anything that's got MCT in it. You don't want any kind of tincture that's clear. It should be like, it should look like regular street weed oil. Only buy from shops that don't sell synthetic cannabinoids like Delta 8, Delta 10, THCO, etc. Look for products that did not have MCT oil or artificial ingredients in them. Look for non-GMO and organic, and for companies that back it up. And I'll just say it. Look for products that have real COAs. Make sure they're not fake. A lot of people fake it. Contact companies before buying and ask them tough questions. And you're going to have to really get to them, because you'll say, like, you'll ask them. They try to word things to make it sound innocent. They don't want to tell you that it was made from chemically converting CBD into THC using solvents and stuff. They don't want to tell you that, but if you have to really press to get the truth out of them. Pay attention to brand logos and avoid the ones with graven images. I won't get into the graven image thing in this video, but a short example of a graven image is the swastika was a graven image. And that's why they really are bad juju. I'm somebody who has a history in New Ageism, and I studied a little bit about mysticism and shamanism, so I know a little bit about occultic stuff, and that's actually why I'm a Christian. And I know those graven images are bad news. So if I see something with a satanic symbol on it, I'm not going to buy it. But I'm not going to judge somebody else that has something that has some kind of symbol on it, because most people don't know about that stuff, and they probably would just think it's ridiculous that I suggested that. But that's okay. They just don't understand it. But I certainly don't want them to hate me, and I don't want to hate them over it. So watch out for counterfeit brands and fake products meant to look authentic. Avoid brands with Serpent Medical graven images on them. Avoid brands that have secrets. Ask vendors where they get their hemp seeds and if they know the difference between genetically modified and hybrid. Make sure shop owners know the difference between hybrid and genetically modified, because they don't mean the same thing. But there are people out there who try to tell you that it's the same thing. They'll say, well, a hybrid's basically genetic modification. Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about some mad scientist stuff, and that's what makes it dangerous and bad and wrong. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys. This was my live video. I'm hoping to get more subs eventually, and like, it'll be cool. I feel inspired by people like The Strange Show and That High Couple. I really do. I'm glad they made it. Yeah, I don't want to keep going on and on. Let's talk crap about our employer. And they're not really an employer, but yeah, I'm on YouTube, right? So it's like, it wouldn't make sense to sit here and go ramble on about how, oh, Google. It's like, you know, I don't want to get booted. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap this video up, y'all. Please sub, like, comment. Thank you. Oh, wait, while I'm still here, you can donate to me if you'd like. My Cash App is $ botanical G420. Cash App, $ botanical G420. Thanks.